Hey fam, you ain't ready for this.
It's big money, big cars, big moves. It's muscle tone, brah, there ain't nothing to prove. The best breeds from the States to the Outback. Keep your eyes peeled, guaranteed you gon' learn that. Beanstalk, big boss on lock. If a canine was God, it would be this dog.
And welcome to Muscletonebullys Mondays, episode 11. Alright, so last week we discussed reindeers versus gorillas. It's an interesting thing. We took Matilda and King Kong out to Marty Paw. It's like a Mardi Gras for dogs. It's a little event that they do in Naples in the Mercado area. We filmed it. You guys will watch it here in a second. And as we were walking, we heard it a couple times, and I actually caught it on camera once as I was recording King Kong. And a gentleman came up and goes, "Oh my God, what a gorilla!" And it cracked me up because he called him a gorilla, and it's exactly. I mean, that's why we named him King Kong, because he was a gorilla even as a pup. So people do want gorillas. People want that big beast inside, you know. It's the same as I've mentioned before when we go to the Olympias. You know, a lot of our friends are heavy into the Olympias, and they're the heavyweights, the 212 division. You know, the bikini division comes in, or the physique division comes in, or the classic division comes in. Any of those divisions, they're a dime a dozen. But when the 212 come in, and the big boys come in, so think of Pocket and Extreme, everybody stands up, everybody's excited, everybody's rooting for them. Everybody wants to see the big dudes. They're the ones getting the biggest checks. And it's no different in the bully world. It's no different if you were showing massive horses, like Belgian horses, or if you were doing competitions with cows. The muscular cows are the ones that, you know, the more muscle mass on them, the better. And it's no different with the dog world. People are fascinated with muscle. They have been since the beginning of time. Look at statues. That doesn't matter if they're in the Egyptian time, which was almost 6,000 years ago or so, that it was in the Roman time, the Greek time even before that, the Persian time. It doesn't matter. It's always a statue of a muscular person. Even the gods that were fake gods, obviously, they always imagined them as muscular, strong individuals because mankind himself is fascinated by muscle mass. I myself, I'm a big fan of muscle. So I will tell you guys a story. We had a house in Belgium where we had a kennel one time, and a neighbor bred these muscular cows, and I had never seen one until my first time there. So I was sitting having my espresso in the morning. It was really early morning because time change, I had all my sleep messed up. I had just arrived, and this cow came out of the back, and we had a staring contest. That thing stared at me for a good 10, 15 minutes while I sat there, and it was hard. I couldn't keep staring. I had to blink. I had to move my head eventually. She won that contest for sure. She was so muscular, so massive, and all I could think about, man, how do I add more of that on my dogs? Okay, now keep in mind, this is before Magoo, right? This is before Magoo. This isn't around 08, 09. Just before that, I did the breeding with Dax and Stella, and you know, I had muscle mass. I had all of that, just not that, you know. And that was the goal. So I started reading up on it, and I started understanding that there's a gene. There's a gene that allows these animals to look the way they do. And that's what I need to capitalize on. So I had to find it. And I knew about the gene, and I was working towards it already before the cows, but I was more into it after I seen the cow, and after I saw all his cows next door. I started to think, okay, this could definitely be done. Like, I had my doubts every now and then. Am I dreaming too far? But no, it was, and I did it. I did it. And when we finally put everything together and we start breeding, at the time my muscle-tone partners were all new, and I was guiding them, as I still guide sometimes, but at the most part they got this down now. And I was guiding them on to which dog to go with what. They couldn't understand it. They're like, but why not this and this, and why not that and that? Because they didn't know what I knew. That was important to me, that I wasn't yet ready to give everyone my secrets. So at that particular time, so just follow my directions. And every time they did, it was a home run. The few times that the few people that didn't follow my direction, didn't listen to me, there was always something not great happening. But they learned quick to follow direction, and once they start doing it, muscle tone expanded. Now, of course, these are my beginning partners. Majority of them are no longer with us, for exception of one. So at that particular point, we had the gene established. So all the new muscle tone partners is just a piece of cake. And it is for anyone who buys muscle tone. It's a piece of cake. We made it easy for the new people to produce extreme. And yet I walk into a show and I see reindeers. Of course they're not muscle tone, but I see reindeers. The interesting thing is you can ask anybody all over the world who goes shows. You know muscle tone when you see it. That's muscle tone. That has muscle tone in it. This does. You can't hide it. So, and I see a lot of dogs today that claim they don't have muscle tone, but I'm not stupid. I know there's muscle tone in their pedigree and someone's lying. Either they're lying, or the person they got the dog from is lying, or maybe the grandfather to that dog, whoever had it, is lying. But somebody's lying, and I will DNA challenge any dog. I know my dogs when I see it, because there's particular genes that didn't exist in the community that was put together by muscle tone. And once it was one gene, once it was one pool, it can only reproduce by breeding to a muscle tone dog. Unless someone has the exact formula I had and started from scratch, where it would take them 5-6 years to get there, then there's no way, there's no muscle tone in that dog. Now, let's get back to topic, gorilla versus reindeer. I'm going to show you guys what a real muscle tone bully is supposed to look like. I'm going to show you what I believe the American bully is supposed to look like. And it's not just my opinion. I believe Dave Wilson has the same idea, pushing in the breed as far as you can without it falling apart and still have it function and still have it healthy, which we did. Our dogs function, they're athletic, they move, they're not handicapped by any means. They live a very long time. They live longer than all those reindeers, and they still carry all that muscle mass. Not fat, muscle mass, okay? As well, more importantly than that, I want to point out on the topic that when you watch what we're going to show you and our dogs are out and about rocking around, I want you to pay attention to their ribs. You can see all our dogs' ribs, okay? They're on 8, maybe 10% body fat for a female, 8% for a male. That's what we keep them at. We show them at that weight. When we're doing stack off, we might have to put a little weight on them, but I didn't do that with the cash stack off or any of the last stack offs because I wanted to be fair. So I kept them all down to their leanest point. And I did the same thing when I stacked King Kong at Nationals or anywhere else we went. He's not as extreme as I would, as my other extreme dogs. He's a grand champion, but I had him down at his bottom weight. And I even remember a gentleman standing next to him going, "You think that dog's thicker than this dog?" And if you saw him from the front, that his dog was like that, King Kong was like this. But he's looking at the waist. He's seeing all of King Kong's ribs coming in and back out. Well, his dog looked like a tube. And I told him, I said, "You're confusing fat and muscle, my friend. Yes, come look at it from the front, and you'll see there's a big difference." Because this is a front stack breed, guys. It's how it was when we started. The wow factor was always from the front. And the show people got obsessed with the side. And the reason for it is because, I'm going to make this simple, and a lot of people are going to get mad. The truth is this. When we started, you had two people. You had those who had the extreme dogs, the wow factor dogs. Most of them weren't the healthiest dogs, but they had them. And you had those who had the reindeers. And the reindeers were like, "But we're winning the shows because our dogs are so clean, and they have such a beautiful top line, and they have the great angulations." And the guys who had the extreme were like, "Yeah, I don't give a shit. Nobody wants to breed to your dog. They're breeding to my dog." Well, your dog is handicapped. Nobody should breed to that dog because because they wanted that beast. They couldn't have it. So the only thing they had going for them is to show in the ring and win trophies. So there was a way to make themselves feel better about their stock. This particular guy was like, "Yeah, well, screw you, blah, blah." When I came in, I was like, "Hold on. I want that all day, the extreme dog, but I need a little bit of health too. I need a lot of health and structure as well. I gotta put it together. I gotta make it work. But if I had the choice, yeah, I'm taking the extreme dog any day of the week. But we want to bring them together, and that was the goal. That was the beginning where Magoo came in. Before that, we had Toshi, which is Yoshi and Stella's son, who was a massive extreme dog, much bigger than Magoo was, but he was more flawed, believe it or not, than Magoo. And we had other dogs as well before Magoo and before Yoshi that were really, really extreme. Some of them bigger than Magoo, bigger than some of the dogs. Well, maybe not bigger than what I have today, but bigger than the dogs I had at that time. But there were too many handicaps and flaws, so they had to go. We just had to get them gone. So we didn't breed an unhealthy breed. We bred a healthy, extreme breed. Okay? I want to see if you guys brought those reindeers or those classics or those so-called barely fitting the standard at 8% body fat into the show ring at Nationals next year. Bring them in. Let me see all their ribs. Let's see what they look like with 8% body fat. They're not going to look nowhere near close of an American bully. The only reason you guys are calling them standard, which they're not, is because you're looking at them from the side profile, only from the side, And that's it. And you're seeing the structure. They don't have bone. And if they do, it's barely making the bone line. Most of them don't have any shoulders. If they do, their shoulders are just like narrow as hell. Their front is so narrow and so long. They look like a game dog in the front. They look like a game dog. And there's no wowness to them from the front. From the side, if they have a nice structure, that any dog can look good. Cane Corso looks good from the side if it's structured right. Alano Espanol looks great from the side. A Pit Bull Terrier looks great from the side. A Staffordshire Terrier looks nice from the side. It doesn't matter. They all have very similar side top lines and structures. And they all look great when you stack them from the side and they look all pretty and stacked up. Turn them to the front, please. Turn them to the back. Let me look at them from the top. I want to see ribs. I want to see the waist in, the rear as wide as the front. I want to see the front being wide and extreme like the breed is supposed to be. Now, one more thing. A lot of you guys don't even pay attention. I see people talking about, oh, look at the movement of this dog. All I see is a skinny dog going crisscrossing in the front or crisscrossing from the side as they walk. And judges like, oh, he had wonderful movement. That's not good movement. That's not good movement. A bully should walk whole body moving. In the back, same thing. In the front, same thing. Okay? That's how a dog should move. That's proper movement. When they're throwing their legs like this in the front and they're crisscrossing them this way and that way, or they're crossing crosswise sideways from the side and they're pouncing like a little ballerina in the ring, that's not good movement, guys. That's not power. The breed should move with power. It means it pushes from the rear. That means the rear should push. So the front, bam, bam, bam. I don't see it. King Kong moves that way. Magoo, Bean, all those dogs move that way. The issue that you comes down to is people don't even know what good movement means. All they're looking at when a dog's moving, they're trying to see the gait. But I'm starting to question if they understand even the gait part. Some might not. So, but there's more to watching a dog move than the gait. You gotta see if it moves with power. Because if it's not moving with power, there's something wrong. There's something missing. There's something that's hidden in the stack of the side silhouette that you're not seeing. Most likely because you're not looking at it from the rear and the front. But even if you did, sometimes you don't see a standing dog flaws until it moves. If the hips popping out of place, if the legs are crossing, it's a defect somewhere. If the legs in the front are doing this, it's a defect somewhere. I'm not going to break down the defects to each one. It's too much work. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to understand that. So a lot of judges are lacking this knowledge. And a lot of people are lacking this knowledge that are actually sitting there preaching and talking about, oh, this is a wonderful dog, and this is not. And it's exhausting to watch you guys and listen to a lot of you. Success has came with many aspects. But I always tell people who come to me, I always say, pick something that you love and learn it and know about it more than anyone else in the industry. Anyone else. Don't let anyone have more knowledge than you. But don't listen to the internet and don't listen to other people. Learn and study it. Then give yourself at least 5 to 10 years. Keep your mouth shut. And see if your learning and your information that you've gathered together is actually accurate when you put it to the test. So now trial and error. And watch and learn patterns. And if you need to take notes, if your memory is not strong, thank God I have a good memory, thank you Lord. Write it down. Write it down. When I first started, I used to write it down. So once you have all of that, then when you come to talk and anyone questions you, like, but it's right there, I did it. Here's my proof. There's my proof. I've proved it. Versus you're running your mouth and you haven't proved anything, you haven't done anything, you've accomplished nothing. Just that, how can anyone take credibility from you? Like at all? Like where? From what? Where's the proof? So this is important, guys. It's very, very important to remember this, all right? So that being said, let's go check out some bulls right now. Let's check out Matilda and King Kong. Let's check out, we're gonna put Versace against Matilda, so to show you guys pocket extreme versus micro extreme. Now these are not our most extreme females, but these are properly structured extreme females that we have that are clean and correct. So we'll show them to you from the front. Of course, they're not perfect, by the way. No dog's perfect. But very close for the amount of substance that they carry. That's what the American Bully is supposed to be. Pushed to the max without falling apart. So you'll see the pocket and the micro. The only difference is the height. That's it. There's nothing else changing. Guys, height. That's it. Same look, same wow factor, same everything. Just one is going to be a little bit shorter. Of course, when you lose height, you lose a bit of width. So if I have a 12-inch dog, she might be 13, 14 inches wide. If I have a 14-inch dog, she's going to be 15, 16 inches wide. For muscle tone, we like them wider than they are tall. That's how we like them.
Spartans! What is your profession?
What's up, everyone? Another day in paradise in Naples, Florida. We are taking Kong and Matilda out again. There's a Mardi Gras event going down at the Mercado in Naples. And we got a little costumes for them. We're dressing them up. We're taking them out. We're going to film it. We're going to make some videos, some content. And we're going to get them ready. So stay tuned. So we got the Escalade ready. I want to show everybody the temperature in Florida, what we're dealing with. Just to let you know how these dogs do just fine in our heat. So it is 91 degrees outside. Okay, 91 degrees. I got the AC blowing right now. So 91 degrees outside, and the dogs, they doing? They're just playing. Look at that. Look at that muscular mass. That rear, neck, head, everything. Florida heat, 90 degrees and humid. Still, no problem. Been out here for a good half hour, 40-minute playing. So it's a big event in Naples downtown today. We washed the dogs earlier. I want to show everybody the temperature. This is Florida, guys. We don't play around. It is 91 degrees outside, okay? 91 degrees. It's been like that all day. Have the AC blowing in the car, but take the dogs out. We're going to be walking around with them in this temperature. Our dogs are just fine. As long as they got a little bit of shade every now and then. We don't have the issues people say we do. Hey, 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 hey. What's up, buddy? As you can see, they move great. They look great. Their structure is great. One is a micro, one is a pocket. Both extreme, both wide as can be. I got him, babe.
Oh, mama.
Come on, boy. Let's go.
Girl.
Wanna get in? Wanna get in? So, what's up, Kong? They're ready to roll. Both of them. Let's go, guys. Another night in Naples. Only traveling in style. That's the Escalade. So just pulled up. Valet. Gonna get the dogs out. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, we can leave them in there. Naples. My wife thought that this would be funny. We should put a mohawk on Kong. We should put a bow on Matilda. I don't think either one likes it. I don't think Kong gives a crap, but Matilda does not like it. This is ridiculous, babe.
I know. It's Marty Paw. Good night. The things we do for dogs.
All these people here. Serving alcohol with cats and rescue dogs. You gotta do what you gotta do to find a home for these dogs. No, no, come on, don't do it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Sitting down getting some food. We got the dogs with us. Time to order some pizza.
Take it out. Oh yes, that's other
Otto, me and the beautiful wife, and our baby girl Matilda is laying down, and so big boy King Kong just chilling. So well behaved, it's unreal, and that's without any training. That's just a breed, my friend. What you barking at, bud? That's what they're saying. They're looking at him like, come on, man. One thing about my dogs, man, they don't bark at other dogs. They might stare them down, but they won't bark at them. They're all action and no talk.
I love seeing
They're around.
it's
They
so
start
cold
at.
again, you know. So how much are they?
They start around 5, but the average around 10,000. Yeah. Yep.
Say less.
No
No problem.
problem.
Oh my god, they're so cute. And
Looks like a gorilla, man.
That's King Kong.
It's exactly it. A gorilla. What I say the other day, guys, people want gorillas. That man just called him a gorilla.